Greetings and welcome back to the Man Cave. This is Spec Ops 56 and this is my getting off my lazy butt update number 2, part B. I wanted to show you one of the things that I'm trying out to hopefully improve my nutrition and eating habits and such. So one of the things that I did is bodybuilding.com, which is a great place to get all kinds of bodybuilding, weight loss, fitness supplements and supplies and clothes and all that kind of stuff, along with lots and lots of good information and advice from other people trying to do body transformations like I'm doing. They have come out with a new line of frozen bodybuilding meals that you can order. You order them in cases of 13. They come to you frozen in a great big styrofoam box with dry ice. I got these here recently. I hadn't tried any yet, so that's what I'm going to do today. It's just about lunchtime, so I'm going to be picking one of these and I'll be cooking it and eating it, and you'll get to watch that. I'll give you my review of it, so hopefully you'll find that helpful. Now obviously these things are not cheap. None of this kind of stuff, food that you order like this is, but it was inexpensive enough that I figured that I could add this into my diet to help improve it, to give me a convenient, some convenient meals that are healthy and have, just the right amount of nutrition and everything in it that you need when you're trying to lose weight and build muscle. There's a fairly decent variety that they have, although it is still the type of variety you'd expect from bodybuilders, which is to say a lot of fish and a lot of chicken breast. But this should give you a good idea of the type of stuff that you can get. You've got, like this one is tilapia with broccoli. We've got salmon, brown rice, and asparagus. We got chicken breast, sweet potatoes, and green beans. And the one I'm going to have for lunch today, sirloin burger, sweet potatoes, and asparagus. Now, if any of you have ever been on anything like Nutrisystem or Medifast, or even if you're trying to do it with the lean cuisine frozen meals from the grocery store, you will notice that the portions are quite small. Well, as you can see, this is a pretty big portion. This is looks like, at least from the size of the box, like this would be certainly enough to satisfy you at a meal. Now I'll give you a little bit of the nutrition here for this particular one I'm having today. They're all high protein, low sodium, no preservatives. They're cooked fresh, wherever they make them, and then they're frozen and and then they're shipped to you. Now this one has 42 grams of protein, 29 grams of carbs, 8 grams of fat, 340 calories. All right, now that, like I said, just looking at the box, it seems like it's a pretty good amount of food for 340 calories. Now, I don't expect these to be highly seasoned, especially since they're low sodium. So most likely, if you get them, you're going to end up having to season them to your taste, but that's not a big deal. I'm not going to add any seasoning to it when I do my initial tasting of it, just so I can report to you what it's like straight out of the box. Now all you do with these basically is you just take it out and you follow directions, pop it in the microwave, and you nuke it and then you eat it. So I'm going to go ahead and go pop this in the microwave, and when I come back I'll show you what it looks like fresh out of the microwave, and then I'm going to eat some of it and tell you how it is. So I'll see you then. Welcome back. We've got the meal just out of the microwave. Eating the sirloin burger, sweet potatoes, and asparagus one. Basically what you do is you take it comes in a steamer bag like this. You put it in the microwave on high for 6 minutes, and then you take it out and you let it sit for a minute so that all the juices and flavors can coagulate and fuse together and, and what have you. And then you cut the bag open carefully because there's going to be steam coming out, and you put it on the plate and you eat it. So it's been at least a minute, so that's what we're going to do. So hopefully I'll be able to do this without burning myself or getting a face full of hot steam. Can definitely feel the steam coming out of it. Okay, and then it says to take this and cut this up the middle. Okay. And then we'll remove the tray with the food. Put that over there. I can tell you that it didn't take very long in the microwave before you could start smelling this meal, and it smelled pretty darn good. And in fact, it still does. And it's about as hot as it can be. Now, just looking at it here, of course, with any microwave meal, it's not like you took it straight out of a broiler or off the grill, so it's not going to look as juicy. But this is what the sirloin burger looks like, and compared to other frozen diet style meals that I've had, that's a pretty good portion. I mean, that's the size of portion of a burger I probably would have made for myself if I was making it from scratch. And it looks pretty good just looking at it. The sweet potatoes, it's not an actual sweet potato in there with the skin and all split up the middle. As you can see, it's just the actual potato innards that's already been mashed up for you. And the asparagus, it seems to be nice and tender. Well done. And before I start eating it, I'm going to give you a little better look at it. And now we will try the taste test. First, I'll give the sweet potato a try. It's a little difficult working around this Lee press here. I'm going to move this over closer. And hot. And fairly bland. It's not like what you normally expect sweet potato to taste like when you get it in a restaurant or when you make it, simply because this doesn't have the butter in it. You know, it doesn't, that you would normally put in it. This doesn't have the cinnamon or You know, the brown sugar, it's not that it's bad, it's just that it's sweet potato without all the extra flavorings. I would probably want to, and will, when this video is over and I actually finish eating this, I'm probably going to go ahead and put just a touch of cinnamon sugar on it, just to add the little bit of flavor. It's not going to be enough to really matter in the great scheme of things. You know, you might want to just put cinnamon on it. You might want to put butter on it. I could see where you might, if you could get something like butter buds, it's like actual dry butter flavoring. You sprinkle a little of that in there and some cinnamon, you'd probably be pretty good. So it's not that it's bad. It's just don't expect it to taste like the one, you know, that comes out of the restaurant. But it's good, and it's good for you. And it's not bad at all. It's just plain sweet potato taste. Now we'll try the asparagus. Now I personally happen to like asparagus. A lot of people don't. Yep. Well, it's cooked all the way through. You know, it's tender. There's a little, like with most asparagus, you know, there's a tiny little bit of stringiness, toughness when you first bite into it, but it's, you know, this is about as, except for not being seasoned. There again, I wasn't expecting any of this to be really seasoned at all, except for lack of seasoning. This is just like any asparagus that I've ever gotten in a restaurant. In fact, I like it a little better than what I usually get in restaurants, because the stuff I get in restaurants usually is severely undercooked, and I don't particularly like to have my asparagus go crunch in my mouth. This doesn't. This is properly cooked. A little bit of salt and pepper, maybe a little lemon juice is all you need on that asparagus. And now for the main event, the sirloin burger. As you can see, it's well done, but not overly done. Good meaty, beefy taste. It tastes like what it's supposed to be. A sirloin burger. It's obviously very lean, but it's not dry. It's not exceptionally moist due to the fact that it's extremely lean, but it's not dry like you would sometimes expect. It's certainly acceptable, and the flavor, the beef flavor in it is very good. There again, it's not seasoned at all, at least that I can tell. So you might want to put a little salt, maybe a little garlic, maybe a little barbecue seasoning, maybe a little Worcestershire sauce, whatever it is you like on yours. But this is better than any of the pre-packaged diet meals that I've ever tried, especially the ones that had a so-called burger in them. And I've tried Nutrisystem, I've tried Medifast, I've tried Lean Cuisine and Healthy Choice and all of those, and Weight Watchers. I've never tried Jenny Craig because I could never afford Jenny Craig. And this tastes like a real meal. I have no problem eating this, one of these, a couple of times a day. And I think this is more than enough to be very filling and satisfying. So that is my review of the bodybuilding.com Elite Fuel frozen bodybuilding meals, at least the sirloin burger, sweet potatoes, and asparagus. I can certainly recommend this if you're trying to eat healthier. And not much more to say, except you'll just have to season it to your preference. And to tell you the truth, for something like this, and the purpose of it, the lack of seasoning is actually an advantage, because they don't know how you like yours. and if they put too much of one thing or another in it, you're not going to like it. This is generic enough that you season it to your preference, and pretty much anybody will like it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is take this on into the house, season it to my preference, and I'm going to finish eating my lunch. And I hope that this is useful to you, and I will do probably another taste test or two in the near future on some of the other meals, and anything else of this type of thing that I'm using to try to help me in my fitness journey. And I will also try to determine how much of a help this will be to me in losing the weight and building some muscle, in a future update. That's all for now. I tried not to make this too long. I think I probably failed, but that's the way it goes. This is Spec Ops 56 saying so long.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.